One. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Dreamweavers podcast. Today it is just me, Ronnie, with you. Today, Deanna is out, and we have the so zen, beautiful Brian Cobley with us again today. And I'm so happy to welcome you back, Brian. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, it's an honor and a joy to be here. Thank you. It's a privilege.
I feel the same way. It's a privilege to have you on. Thank you. Oh my gosh, how have you been? It's been a while.
I've been in a very quiet place. A very quiet place. Just being, I guess, is how we would describe it. Just just being, just allowing. I think it's like a kind of surrender to what is, rather than trying to be in control of things quite so much. Just going along with the flow. Uh, I know that's a cliche, but
No, it's wonderful because it's interesting that you say that because I was just our mutual friend Kim Mo. I was texting with her the other day and I told her I said it's just different levels of surrender. And I find that with the different levels of surrendering for myself, I have gotten so much more quieter. That's bad grammar, but much quieter as well, which is kind of what you and I were talking about. It's like sometimes I go to talk to people and then I'm like, well, I really don't have much to say. I just don't have many words.
I think it's like you've called off the search. The search is over, so to speak. You've arrived, or you've found a place where you can be you, or I can
Mm,
be me,
mhm.
and I don't have to justify that or apologize for being who I am, so to speak. If that might not quite sound right, but
I understood.
we can just be ourselves. I find uh, my heart is open most of the time now. It's just a kind of a presence, just being present, just being in a place where I'm not judging or criticizing or trying to change things, either myself or others. A kind of acceptance for how things are, the way things are. Just a quiet, calm acceptance.
I agree. It's so interesting that you and I are sitting here feeling the exact same energies of the other thing, and I'm gonna digress for a second and then I'll come back to that topic. But on the same thread, I heard something just the other day and it resonated so deep within me. And I was like, that's it. That's where I'm at. Is I heard somebody say that the louder the mind is, the sicker the body is. And the quieter the mind, the healthier the body. And it's so interesting because I'm feeling that. I'm deeply resonating and feeling with that. The more quiet my mind gets, again, where you and I are talking less words because I don't exactly what you're saying. I'm just so present and
Mm,
so being with whatever people are saying or just where I'm at, even if I'm not with anybody, I'm just so there that my mind is so quiet and I can feel my body in different ways.
mm,
And I find that amazing. And and then circling back, it's just really interesting to be in this state. And I find that the more that I'm finding kind of a duality, as all the things are going on in the out there energy, of course, with America and us starting the war or our president starting the war.
Mm.
You know, but with all of this craziness and chaos that's going on, I can see, and I was just having this conversation with somebody, how people are feeling that chaos and that energy, and it's bringing them to weird places. And I can tell it's taking them to weird places because my interaction with, you know, strangers, you know, just out in public is very interesting. I find that they don't have the patience. They don't have the, I don't think they understand what's going on and that they're picking up on all that chaotic energy. But then on the other hand, when I talk to people who are a little bit more awakened, you know, a little bit more in line with like you and I, they're feeling the same thing that you and I are, just more still. And that's the polarities that I'm kind of seeing. How have you noticed any of that by chance?
Yes.
And of course, you're over there again. You're over there. Tell us where you're from. I didn't even, you know, I just jumped right into this conversation. I didn't even fully introduce you, Brian. Let's go back to that. Please introduce yourself. That totally did just happen, baby.
I'm,
Guys out there, I'm so sorry. I was so excited to have this conversation with Brian. I apologize for not giving him the moment to introduce himself. Please introduce yourself, tell us where you are, and then we'll come back to that.
I'm in the UK, in Great Britain, in a city called Leeds, which is the north. It's about a couple of 100 miles from the capital of London, uh, and that's where I am. I used to teach meditation, and
I think you still do.
I do, yes, sort of, yes, yes. But I do it over. I used to have people coming to my house into this very room here. You can see the Buddha at the back there. This is my meditation room, and people would come and do courses. But then COVID came along and stopped all that. And I decided, whilst I was at it, that I would retire. I used to give a lot of Reiki. I used to have a lot of Reiki clients, and I used to teach Reiki. I was a Reiki master. And I thought, well, being as I can't see clients and I can't give Reiki and that kind of thing, I can do it over Zoom, but I'm going to retire, so to speak. So I've been semi-retired or retired for quite some time now. I'm getting on a bit, so I've earned a rest.
Of course you have. Of course you have.
So that's it, really. I mean, nothing else to say, really. I mean, I've done I've done. I feel as if I've had about three lifetimes, at least three lifetimes in one. One as an engineer, electrical engineer. Two as a musician, because I
Mm.
play in orchestras and conduct and teach the flute and the clarinet in schools and that kind of thing. And then the third one is this kind of sort of a meditation thing. And in a way, they're all linked together. They're all part of that process because engineering is about energy, electrical engineering is about electromagnetism and power and waves and radiation, if you like. Music is about harmony and structure, and of course learning skills, interpretation, that kind of thing. And then the meditation side, I guess, is about empowerment, about helping other people to in a way take responsibility for their own growth rather than
Yes.
looking outside. I feel the role of the teacher is to give the student tools. Like a carpenter, a carpenter can't be a carpenter unless he's got a chisel and a hammer and and the meditation teacher gives their student tools that help them to shape, carve out, if you like, their own identity. They find that they can chip away those bits of themselves that don't fit, and hey presto, the beautiful you appears. Like Michelangelo doing
That's a great analogy.
he used to chip away all the parts that weren't the angel or whatever it is. He'd have a block of marble and then chip away everything that wasn't the angel or whatever it was that he was sculpting. So that I
That's
think that for me is that integrates all of the three lives that I've had had so far. I had a business life that as well. I was in business for a while, so that's four lives. And, and business teaches you how to work with others. I used to put in quality control systems and techniques to help to make the business uh, keep the staff really engaged and feeling a part of, they were an important and integral part of the business, and they were very highly valued.
Mm.
And so that was successful as well. So anyway, enough about me.
I think that's perfect. So, over there in the UK, are you feeling any of this chaotic energy that's coming from America with some of the it's just kind of a lot. And it's not just America, it's everywhere. But I know that our president is kind of stirring the pot, shall we speak.
Well, I think he's ruining billions of lives
Mm.
because this is going to create a global recession because of all the Israeli and American attacks and things, and the Iranian attacks and things. They are destroying infrastructure, global economic infrastructure, and that infrastructure will take years or decades to rebuild. And in that time, your heating and energy bills will go up, your food bills will go up, your gasoline prices
It's
will
already,
already going up. And
well,
so,
food, everything's already gone up. It's like you said, I agree. It's only going to continue.
yes, it's going to continue a little while longer. And I think this is the problem. When people have this need to be right, they won't back down. He's made a mistake. He won't admit that he's made a mistake. He won't back down. And this people who are certain of what they're doing, that they're right, and they have to prove themselves right, they can cause an awful lot of harm and an awful lot of damage. And that is a shining example of of
Lack
that.
of accountability,
Well, yes,
self-awareness.
I mean, it's just to me, it what they're acts of cruelty. They're
Okay.
acts of defiance or not caring about the cause and effect and not caring about other people, just enriching themselves. That's all. I mean, I did suggest when he was elected for the first time. I had some American friends, and I said, "This guy is a crook. He's a fascist. He's a bully. He's not good for America." And they said it's none of your business, and they unfriended me and all that kind of thing. So
Oh, really?
that was when he was elected for the first term, and I suggest they couldn't. It was as plain as the nose on your face, as far as I'm concerned. The
Well, I
kind of
happen to
person
agree.
that he is. So, but anyway, I mean, perhaps a lot of good will come out of this. People will come together. People will grow. So, out of the darkness comes the light.
I think eventually the good will come. And if you listen to what a lot of spiritual people, I guess, have to say, I'm sure there's a better word that's not coming to me in the moment other than spiritual people. Um, Maybe more like-minded like you and I. But anyway, you listen, and I do believe that he's not going to be around too terribly much longer.
No. No.
Um, at the same time, I think the reason that he's not going to be there so much longer is because of the damage that he's going to create in the short amount of time that he's there. And that damage that he has already created and will continue to create in that short time frame is going to be what I consider to be pretty massive. And then it's just like you said, the coming together and the rebuilding of all that. And that's when I think that people will come together more and will be ready to do things differently. And I think that's going to be a beautiful thing. And from last I heard, give or take about 10 million people over here. I think I'm not sure if that was just in this. I don't know. That can't be in the States. I don't know, but I heard about give or take 10 million people came together for the No Kings March. I don't know if you've
Wow.
heard those numbers as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I've seen, I've been
Uh,
following these things very closely on YouTube, I
Oh,
have to.
have you? Okay. Probably more than I have because, I try to avoid news and politics and I do. But I did happen to see that. And that, I like to listen to the positive, the good side of the news. That's what I prefer to put in my head, is the positive side. And that was a beautiful positive side that I was really happy to hear about. So little things like that, I think, are going to be quite beneficial.
Yes. Um, I, there were. I mean, I'm quite old. There was a thing when I was younger. There was what was called the Cuban Missile Crisis. We
Yes, I remember.
were- yeah, we were on the verge of a nuclear war there.
Oh, I remember hiding under my desk thinking that was going to help for the drills.
There you go. So we seem to have this. We can't seem to avoid war. We seem to have to sort of, I don't know, destroy other people to get our own ways. That's the.
Wow.
I think that's the human condition. The human being is just can be destructive as well as constructive. And if we're going to evolve as a species, we've got to learn to get along.
Yes.
Sit round and
Do you
say,
think that that's part of our just natural makeup, or do you think is it nature or nurture is the question here, Brian?
I think it's a part of our nature at the moment. I think it's at what you would call the prehistoric brain, the prehistoric part of the brain, the fight or flight
Mm,
part of the
okay.
brain. You know, and I
I
think that
think it's a little bit of both for me personally. I think it's there. Like you said, I do agree with the a little bit of programming because of what you said, the prehistoric, fight or flight. We have to do things to survive.
mm,
And then I think there's through generations, ancestral and raising, how how we're reared or how we raise our children, whatever. That's nurture, of course. And I think sometimes it's more nurtured and sometimes it's kind of nurtured out. A loving nurture versus a chaotic nurture.
yes, yes, I'll absolutely agree with that.
Hmm, thank
Yes, it's a combination of
you.
those. But the fact that it's still here,
Mhm.
perhaps each generation, that prehistoric side of the brain, which is is a built-in wiring for flight or fight and all survival and that kind of thing, may the fear-based aspect of the human condition may be reducing over
I think
generations.
you're right. I agree with that. That's why I love, I remember back, I think it was give or take about 2013. Don't quote me on the date, but give or take around there that I was teaching, and teaching to the new millennials was all the rage. And how do we reach these millennials? And my generation, older people, shall we say, were just so befuddled with how to teach to this younger generation. And I remember going, why are we befuddled? Because they're coming in with just more openness, more expansiveness, more accepting, more compassion. And they're the ones, if we would meet them where they're at, we would understand that those emotions and anxiety and things that they're presenting with are just undercurrents of, hey, dude, you guys got this shit wrong. You
Mm,
need to take a look, old people, and realize that this is not the way of love and compassion and acceptance. And of course, then they have their own, as we were just talking with the naturing, they're being raised a certain way, and their parents are probably a little more strict or a little more this or what have you, not as loving as what they're coming in with. And that's why ever since then I've just really started looking at these younger generations coming in. And I did this for a number of years while I was teaching, and let me tell you, I don't know that I could have gotten to where I am today without those young people teaching me what they have taught me and continue to teach me. Because now, today, even though I'm not necessarily in the younger world of teaching, I'm really not teaching. What I do, I feel like I teach to individuals, but in the school system or in that academic, shall we say, academic arena, you know, even though I'm not in that anymore, I still feel myself surrounded by these younger people just through naturally meeting. And my goodness, do I love them. I just love them so much because like I said, I feel so blessed and privileged because I've gotten to see it over the years and watch it all, and it's just freaking amazing. And if we, the older people, would just shh and listen to what they have to say.
well, I mean,
Dude.
I think they still have something to learn from us old fogies,
Oh,
old.
of course they do. You know what they could learn? I found that I think what they get from us is our perseverance. I feel like that was something I got to give back was the perseverance, the resilience, the
One thing,
keep going.
one thing that astonishes me is the level of talent, skill. Being a music teacher, I sometimes watch videos of 9 or 10-year-old children playing superb piano
Dude.
or violin or cello or whatever it might be. There's just some stunning, absolutely incredibly talented and gifted children today who are astonishingly good at pieces of music that
Yes.
were very considered very difficult to play. I mean, just in awe of the talent.
Right.
Yeah. Um,
And the things that they can do with their body these days, they are so body aware different. They're differently aware of their bodies than what I feel I came in with, or even where I'm at today. And the things that they can do with their body. You watch, like you're talking about with the music and the creativity level, they can do things with their body that we would have hardcore back in our day, Brian, was never even a word.
well, there's that, and there's gymnastics, and
Oh, just so many
amazing.
cool things.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think? I mean, sometimes when you see that these gifted children, do you know is that a kind of a sort of a hint at reincarnation that these people have played the violin before or been gymnasts before in a previous life? What do you think? I mean, or is it the DNA? It's just weird, isn't it? I mean, I'm quite happy to have either there is reincarnation or there isn't reincarnation. For me, it's not a paradox. It's not a dilemma. What is, you know, and none of us can know the exact truth until. until we peg it and find out. Um, but it really is a hint for me that that there is such a thing as reincarnation. It's an indicator, a pointer towards that.
I can
Oh,
see that. That's a really good. I've never really thought about it from that aspect. I think that's a really great thought process. Seriously, I've just never really thought about it like that.
it's the same with energy. If you have you ever, I mean, if you're teaching meditation, or especially if you're teaching an energy system like Reiki or something like
Hmm.
that, or I used to teach, I teach the light body as well. The the energies they just come through.
Hmm.
They just
They're
come.
just more open and it just, yes.
What I'm saying is that when you're actually attuning someone to Reiki, it's almost an indication or a proof that there are guides or other beings that are working with you, helping you to hold these energies and pass these energies through you as a vessel to the person that you're attuning or teaching, or when you're awakening the light body, kind of a resonance that you generate. And so these again are indicators of other dimensions of being or levels of being. And as I say, those kind of things, they're not proof, but they certainly point to something more mysterious, don't they? And I think
I like the way you said that.
that's the important thing. Let's never give up on the mystery of it all.
Oh my gosh, how could we ever give up on the mystery? That's the best part. That is the best part. Sometimes just, let's see what happens now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of a discovery, isn't it? You're
It
discovering,
is.
and I guess that's what growth is. I don't know whether it is or not. I mean, a tree doesn't discover that it's suddenly become a tree. I don't suppose, or does it? I don't know. Anyway, I divulge.
I love it. I love it. So
Let's just.
what do you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, go on. You go.
You were going
Well,
to say something.
well, I was just going to say we might just tune in for a second and just hold a presence for a second.
Let's do it.
Let's do that. Just hold a presence. So I'm connecting through time and space to your heart. You're connecting through time and space to mine. And anyone who may be watching this now, we will include you, whoever's watching this podcast. Now, I mean, there's a shift, isn't there?
That's great.
It's like I was saying the other day. There's always light. There's always light, and I think in a way the personality and the idea of separated self is sometimes it's like a mask that we wear or a veil that just like a curtain we can draw that curtain back simply by just allowing, just being. We can allow that light that we're already present in, always present in, to be there. There's nothing we have to do.
Mhm. I 100% agree. Yeah.
So
Thank you. That was, yeah.
that that's
I want to
that.
leave that right there. I'm just gonna just leave that right there. I wanted to ask you, so as we were talking before, when I jumped the gun and didn't even do the how are where and how did that's the question. How did you get there to you said you were switching how you think of awakening, thinking how you switch in spirituality and stuff like that. Tell me more and how did you get there?
Well,
What's making you kind of do some different thinking?
I think we have tools, as I was saying, like the carpenter, we have tools and things. And a lot of spiritual growth, and this is a necessary part of the journey, is about adding knowledge, adding skills, adding experiences, um, you know, adding. But then I think you come to a point where it's not about adding, it's about subtracting, it's about taking away.
Hmm.
Because 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 you begin to understand that I think for me it comes from the ability to say, I don't know. I don't know. That is the starting point. Rather than thinking that we know something or that we have something special or mysterious or I think the first the kind of thing for me was this realization that actually I don't know.
Hmm.
So we and when we come to that I don't know, that is a kind of a starting point for being able to stop and just observe and watch the thoughts, the emotions arising, and they arise without me having to do anything. And then if you act on them, that's the secondary effect. But the actual thoughts and emotions are the primary effect, and you are not in control of them. Yeah?
What? No control?
Oh,
What?
no.
I don't think we understand that at all, Brian. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. This human wants to control some stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man, let me tell you. As we're talking about different layers of surrender and let go, I think exactly what you said with the chiseling. I really love your analogy. I really love that analogy of chiseling out. I'm going to tell you what just since you said that, how I've kind of interpreted that on my side of things is like the chiseling out is, yes, I chisel this out, or as I breathe and something comes to my awareness, and then I look at this that has just fallen off, this little chiseled out piece. And I'm like, does this serve me? Nope. And the let go factor. And then I find other pieces where I'm like, oh, I might want to control this. No, 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 no. We need to hold on. And then all of a sudden I'm recognizing and aware of the holding on and oh, we're holding.
Mm.
Okay. So what do I need to do is always my question to release and let this go. But then exactly what you said, I find I don't need to do anything. If I just sit with it and
Yes,
breathe, I can
yes.
let it go. And I've learned the power, you know, doing the work that I do, for other people, doing the work that we do for other people, whatever that may look like. I have found that, and I don't know if you've seen this, but I've come to learn that the same way that I will sit with my clients and just let them figure it out, if I will do that for myself, just sit with myself and talk to myself the same way that I would, guide and talk to one of my clients. Holy macaronis. Let me tell you, I can just sit with myself now, and that is such a beautiful place to be and talk myself through it. And it's really, really new. And I can hold space for myself. And that's the new thing that I've actually been sharing with my clients is, we're talking about that little bit of education and teaching, that's kind of how I look at it, giving them tools, teaching them how to just sit with themselves.
Absolutely. And also, if there's a kind of an acceptance that you can come to because after a while you realize, or I've realized, that a lot of the things that I didn't want to happen were actually quite useful.
Mm, hmm. There's that. Whether or not I liked it, it was still beneficial.
Yeah. Well, the thing, I think what I'm trying to say is that um, where we are right now at this present moment, right now, is a product of all the experiences that we've had, and the mistakes, and the joys, and the sorrows, and the struggles, and the heartaches, and you know, where we are right now is a product of that of all of those experiences. And
Hmm.
if we just
Hmm.
bring them into the present moment and love them and accept them and be grateful for them, then we can, in a way, that's how we can make
Let
peace.
go.
Yes,
Yeah.
make peace with ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves. We're so
Gosh.
tough on ourselves.
Mhm.
Look, we're beautiful creatures. We are beautiful beings. We are deeply, deeply loved. Um, and it's okay. It's okay to be okay, and it's okay to not be okay.
Exactly. And it's also okay to love yourself. I
Yeah.
think that was a big, speaking of clients recently, I had somebody who almost felt like it wasn't okay to love herself. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, baby, that's a tough place to be. Most of the time, we have a problem loving ourselves. And then we have to go through all that. But this one, she really didn't think it was okay to love herself. And I was like, oh, that's a okay.
The thing is, love is just love. It's always present. It's like light. It is always present. Love is also always present. We are always surrounded and embraced by love. We're always embraced by grace. We're always
Hmm.
in these places. And it is just these veils, these masks and these ideas and these beliefs that just get in the way of the fact that if we can just be present for a moment, we are already in a state of grace. We're already in a loving place and a loved place. And automatically, everything starts to, if you like, settle. The nervous system settles
Hmm.
because we're not fighting. We're not trying to control. We're accepting. We're, we're allowing love to love through us or be us or express through us. We're allowing the light to be with us, to express itself through us. Not, you know, it's not that we're doing anything special or different or powerful. It's just that we're getting out of the way and getting
Hmm.
out of our own way. Uh, but, but, but that can be misinterpreted and thought of that is something that you've got to do. Getting out of your own way is something that you've got to do. Well, no,
I
no, don't
agree.
worry about it. Just don't think about it too much. Just let it let it happen, so to speak.
I
So the
actually have a question along that same thought process. Sometimes when we are going through the muck and we feel so utterly alone, and even though we're doing our best to connect with ourselves and breathe and regulate that nervous system, how can we feel more? I guess here's the thing, like in the human construct, we want the tangible. We love the tangible in this human construct. And when we're just inside of our mind, we can know that we're connected and we can know that they're there and we can, in the mind, not feel alone. But then we come back to the human construct and we open our eyes and I'm sitting in the living room and I'm watching the TV and there's nobody there, right? How can we not feel alone in those moments? Like the mind versus the tangible disconnect? Ooh, that's a good question, Brian. How would you describe that? How would you connect that? Does that make sense? Did I state that in a way that you understand?
Yes,
Okay.
but
Because I find that that's kind of, I'm sorry, say again, please.
it's not a problem.
Okay.
It's part of it's part of becoming what's called coherent, where things just flow quite naturally. It's not something,
Mm.
it's not a problem. If you're feeling loneliness, it's okay. Feel it. Allow yourself to feel it. Don't fight it. Just accept. It's about saying yes to whatever is present.
Mm.
And it's also about, this idea of subtracting rather than trying to add. Yeah? This idea of
I
subtraction
like that.
is yeah, we have to go through the stage of adding and gaining skills and gaining abilities. It's like the musician, they practice their scales and things. They practice everything. You don't see the thousands of hours that they practice when they're on the stage, and letting us absorb the beauty of the sound of beauty of music, the skill. So there's a lot of skill, so that someone can effortlessly communicate music. And it's the same with what we're talking about. You have to develop skills. But those skills it's like muscle memory that, you remember just
Mhm.
because you've practiced forgetting and remembering and forgetting. So when you're forgetting and feeling lonely or you're feeling upset, that's part of the practice. That's part of the skill.
Ah, that's a
It's not
great way to look at it.
it's you're making progress. It's a good thing. Even, I mean, don't get
I
me wrong.
like
I'm not talking sadomasochism here, but these things that you're experiencing are showing that you're making progress. It's like, when you're learning an instrument, you will really wrestle and struggle with certain scales and things like that. You struggle with them. It's almost like the instrument is fighting back. If you're playing the keys are fighting. You're fighting.
Sometimes, yeah, I used to play the saxophone, I remember.
Suddenly you get over that. You move to another level because you've persevered at the pain and difficulty. It's like learning karate or judo or whatever it is. If you don't, you go no pain no gain, I suppose. But if you're gonna be skilled in something like tennis player, great tennis player, you've got to be prepared to lose tennis matches. Nobody wins every tennis match. The great champions, none of them win. They know what it's like to lose, and all that. So but they become skillful. If we're going to become skillful at living, and living is an art, it's a skill, then we have to develop skills, and we have to be prepared to go through the pain, the difficulties, the struggle of the difficult things. And things get very difficult. It can get very difficult. But eventually, if we say, I'm going to get through, accept it, yes, say yes to it, allow it to be, and in a way, you're starting to master those energies or those thoughts or those emotions. But it's not you that's doing it. It's the muscle memory that's doing it. It's not the personality. You've learned the skill. The body's learned the skill. The emotions have learned the skill. It's like the weather. Good emotions come and go. Good thoughts and bad thoughts, like the weather. It's rain, sunshine, it's like the weather. But we can accept the human condition unconditionally. I think that's important. Accepting the human condition is not all sweetness and light. And
Mm.
mastery is not all sweetness and light. It is. If you're learning an art form of any kind, and life is an art form, it's a skill, it's an art form. If you're learning that, then you know that you're going to have some painful times. The tennis player knows if he's going to win a tennis match, he's got to go through the pain.
Well, and you have to lose a few times so you can learn. You have to fumble. You
Okay.
have to stumble and have those what we call growing pains.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's just that, we take the agency, we take the responsibility. We say, the old saying is, if you're going through hell, keep going. When you come
So
out,
you can get through it.
you'll get through the other side. But
Hmm.
there comes a point, I think, where all of these things tend to fall away and we don't think about them quite so much anymore. Again, it's like this muscle memory. It's almost as if we've given the soul permission just to be there and allow the soul.
I like that one. That one hit deep. Just give the soul permission to be there.
Mm,
Ooh, quotable moment right there, Brian. Just give the soul
mm,
permission to be there.
mm,
Period. Nothing else. Ugh. Give the soul permission. I'm gonna remember that one, baby. I like that one. I'm gonna share that. Give the soul permission to just be there. Ooh,
mm.
that one hit real deep. Ah. I'm like, whoo, that was,
This idea of being alone or being on
yeah.
your own, that means that, you've forgotten about the soul. It's like the cry of Jesus on the cross, my God, why hast thou
Mm,
forsaken me? It's that element of forgetting about the soul, about so we
yeah.
all go through a kind of crucifixion.
Well, I think sometimes that's what in the spiritual world they call the dark night of the soul.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
Dude, last year was mine, let me tell you. And that was not the first one. I will say this though, holy shizum. That was that was a hard one.
It is
That
too.
that was a tough one. And you know that because you and I talked a lot last year during some of those really dark times. And by the way, thank you. I don't
Oh
know.
well, you're
I know
welcome.
in the moment I said thank you, but let me tell you sincerely, whew, there were a lot of times that your words helped. And let me tell you guys, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but I have found nobody better thus far than you when it comes to meditating. And some of the most amazing meditations, I think I don't think I know. It really helped immensely and helped me get through whatever. Well, I know some of what I was going through. I haven't fully learned all of it yet, and that's okay.
Mm,
We're still going.
we're all work in progress.
Yeah, yeah. We're
But
still going, and that's all that
again, you
matters.
can just sit in that
Yeah.
presence of the soul. The light is always there, it's always available. Love and kindness and compassion and beauty and gentleness
Mm,
is always present.
it is. I have found I feel like I've personally found a new level of awareness in a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. Like there's so many facets to every topic. And I just find my level of awareness to each one of these little topics has not just one or, three to five like it used to. It's like I can just I keep seeing so much bigger. And so everything, and exactly what you said, I don't know nothing anymore. I really, people are like, da 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 da. And I'm like, I just don't know anything anymore. I feel like the more I learn, the less I know.
That's a perfect place to be. I think it's
It's incredible.
a good place to be. Also, this thought pops into my mind
Yeah.
as something which I've thought before, and maybe my guides are coming through a little bit here. But if you think about life, if you think about all of the people who have lived since we first became human beings on this planet, there are many, many billions of lifetimes that have been lived by life. So life itself must have become very wise by now.
Well,
And I think that
I think life has.
if we just think about life and we are alive, then life we have access to all of those lives. You can talk about reincarnation. It can just be this process of life itself, of having had all of these experiences, and because we're alive, we have access to them. So we have access to all past lives.
Well, exactly. And that's why sometimes past life regression is so beautiful. One of the things that I do, because how much can you learn? Because we can't connect the dots looking forward. We can only connect the dots looking back. And that's why, and recognizing that, time is really not how we perceive it, but to be able to go back and look at some of these things that you've done. I mean, and how it relates and correlates to exactly where you are right now.
It also ties into this idea of ancestral healing as well,
Yes.
and that I think is very important. It's something that we're either knowingly or unknowingly doing.
I don't think people have any idea. I would love to bring more ancestral healing to the awareness because I know what I have personally. I have a hell of a story when it talks about ancestral healing. And I have found that to be one of my biggest now helpers.
Mm. Just
What helped me get to where I am now.
just go with it. Remember that
Yeah.
we're learning skills.
Yes.
It's a skill.
Skills and just gathering more tools along the way.
Yeah, and then of course we just use the muscle memory
And then just share
yeah,
and be.
yeah,
Just to share and be.
just to share and be.
Yeah. That's really where I'm at, just sharing and being. It's it's a very interesting place to be, I'll tell you.
Mm,
It's a new level that has been very spectacular to be just a sharing being place.
mm.
I almost sometimes I equate it to like a video game. Not that I'm a big gamer, but I love people who play games anyway. But it's like a different leveling up. I don't know if it's necessarily leveling up per se, but it's definitely a new level. And man, I feel the unlocking of a new level, like whatever gamers experience when they unlock those new levels, that's where I'm at.
Well, I mean, you're already in these levels. You just unlock it. You're just meeting yourself in these new levels. You're already in these levels.
Maybe that's the unlocking.
Just yeah, they're just starting to
That's
come
so
through.
cool.
But again, we have to be very careful about this idea of having to sort of do something to get to these levels.
No, it's just sharing and being.
Yeah, they just appear
Hmm.
just by practicing
Hmm.
an open heart, being and sharing, practicing.
Practicing being. The only thing to do is be.
Life is a skill.
It is a skill. That
You
is
just
a
have to
very
get,
true
you just have
statement.
to
Life
get that
is a
know,
skill.
and
I
then
think I like that. Life is a skill.
yeah.
Mm. So what are you working on right now? So I want to touch a little bit. You brought in the light body conversation, and a whole lot of honesty, I have not finished the whole thing with the light body. In fact, I can feel it calling back. But anyway, I love the light body. And I know that you hold those meditation classes. Well, I don't know that I want to call them classes, more groups, meditation groups for people who have
Yeah,
completed the light
yeah,
body
yeah,
and who are at levels of that.
yeah.
Where are you at with all that? And what are we
Well,
looking forward to?
I've taken a little bit of time out
Okay.
from the group because I wanted to get more physically fit. Holding these energies, it works at every level, the physical, emotional, and mental and spiritual levels. And so I was guided, if you like, to take some time out. So I bought myself a smartwatch. I've been
Okay, look at you.
I've been out jogging, I've been out walking, I've been doing exercises, I've lost a few pounds, and so I'm getting
How are you feeling?
feeling great.
Yeah.
And so I've been working on the physical side. So hopefully in the next week or a couple of weeks or so, I'll start the group again and be able to hold the energies
Differently.
in some new spaces or something like that. But I needed to get physically more physically fit for them, I think. So
Mm.
that's where I've been at, walking and exercising and
That's interesting because now that I'm back in Sedona, I find myself just Sedona is a little, I guess, how can I say this? I get more benefit from connecting and moving my body and my physicality in nature. And when I'm stuck in the larger cities, like I was, of the concrete, and the steel, the concrete jungles, as I like to call them, even though I'm doing the same physicalness, the same things for the same duration, the same walk, the same, da 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 da. It is not the same as getting in nature and communing and being able. And now that I'm back in Sedona, wow, the difference is it's noticeable. And honestly, it's actually quite inspiring for myself. Oddly enough, I find it
I think you live in the energies that you're compatible with, and I mean, near where I live, there's a park with some lakes and swans and all that kind of thing. So
mm,
when I go walk around the lake and things, it's only takes me 10 minutes to get there, and that kind of thing. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with the physical body. The physical body is also in the light. It's made of light. It's made of stars and stardust, and we can just enjoy being physical. I find I've got so much more energy now that I've been doing my exercises and what have you. Even though I used to be a gymnast when I was younger, I was a school champion gymnast and athlete.
I
So
did not know. Oh, that's really cool. Good for you.
so I'm getting back. I'm getting back to feeling that physical kind of. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not physically capable of turning
At that
myself,
level anymore. We're just different.
but it's not. But I can feel. I've got more energy going through my body now. So that's and I, you know, I've been putting it off for too long, really. But there you go. Uh,
We all do.
it's important. It's important to look after the physical as well as the emotional and the mental.
Well, because it's all connected, right?
Practice, yeah. Just yeah. So that's where I'm at, and I know that you're being called back because you will be doing the light body. This is what my guides tell me at the moment. It's something. Uh, it is I think it's the most important tool that you can add to your toolbox. It
Mm.
certainly was for me in terms of the kinds of energies and experiences or states of being that you open up to or get, which you're already in. But the light body helps you to access these spaces
It
uh,
does.
more easily. Yeah, yeah.
It does.
So I mean, I could just call out the Ranthia space, the heart space for you. Let's just call the Ranthia out for a second.
Okay.
Think about it for a moment. That gentle rotation of the Ranthia on the heart center. Just tuning in and then setting up a resonance. There we go. Ranthia. Ranti.
It always feels so good. I do love that feeling.
Mm.
I got there when I was doing the meditations, and I think I just kind of needed to spend some time in this space because this is about where I stopped. I felt like I could get here, and this is just where I needed to be for a while. I think I
It's a
did a
beautiful.
few more after this, but this was my big.
The
Hmm,
Aranthea space is a very, very powerful space, a very, very useful space to integrate and to just sit in and allow the energies just to
be,
be. Yeah.
and you can just feel it, and it does what it does, and it's really. I always
There's
get
no,
warm. I get
yeah,
flushed.
yeah. There's no rush. Just tuning in. I'm just sending some of the lower centers, the New Year and the Dinya and the Liao, all harmonizing and uplifting energies rising up through the Mumin and then into the Ranthia space again. There you go. There you go. You've got it. I get a distinct resonance. You see, I feel your light coming back to me. This tells me that the
That's
center
gotta
is
be
awakened. Yeah.
that's gotta be really cool.
Mm. Good.
And then I start moving, and it's always I always know things are shifting when I've noticed the movement that I do uh instinctually, I guess, for lack of a better word, that I don't, unaware, I'm not, and then all of it, I notice all of a sudden I'm moving, and then I'm like, oh, I'm moving, oh, and then I realize, oh, we're shifting and moving energy within the body, and that is what is, that's what's moving.
You might find that
Oh,
your guides will change as well. I don't know if they already have, but I don't know who your guides are at the moment. Do you have any sort of guides? You just sense the presence of guides, or have you got a? Do you feel as if you're open to channels, so to speak?
oh yes, oh yes, I've been channeling for a while now. I actually have a new guide
Oh,
that
right.
has joined the team, and how can I say this? We're I am still learning more. I just keep getting little drops of information. And there's some information that apparently, how can I say this? There's something there that is ready to be opened,
Right.
and it just hasn't been opened yet. And I'm just, okay, well, it'll happen when it happens.
No,
And
no rush.
it's okay. But yeah, that one, I don't know. The name is Palatheo,
Palathea, well, that's good. Fantastic.
and I've gotten a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, that's not true. I've gotten a good amount. of information about them and how we're connected. Just still waiting for some more pieces to fall into place so that I can see the whole picture. It's like a puzzle. I keep getting it like a little puzzle, and that's just kind of fun, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah, you've got it. You've got it. You're there. Just keep practicing.
that's, yeah, I do. I do. I find sometimes, fall out of moments because the human,
Yeah.
going through the life, but otherwise, it's a lot of fun.
Remember, give your soul permission to be there.
Just giving my soul permission to be there. Yeah. It's a new great slug. I think that's the title. I think we just figured out the title for this episode. Giving your soul permission to be there.
Yeah.
That's a good title. Hmm. All right. So where are you going and what are you doing when you come back into I know, are you going to start your meditations again, your meditation groups or
Yes, I'll be starting that. Um,
Mhm.
um, my role, if you like, now is a kind of a sort of a doorman. You know the doorman that opens the,
Of
stands
course.
you, madam, after you, madam, into the hotel. I'm like the guy. I'm like a doorman who sort of opens the door and between two worlds. I've got one foot in on the earth and another foot in the other planes, and I'm the guy who just sort of says welcome and opens the door, and they go through the door. Like, that's my job, a doorman.
I love that analogy, and I think you are absolutely spot on. I do. I think you are absolutely spot on with that analogy. That is
So,
exactly who you are.
so for me, it's just about holding the spaces on the earth plane, um, and allowing the light that we're all and the love and all that we're already this is already present, just allowing that to be there wherever I am, whatever I'm doing. I mean, because we are multidimensional creatures and we're not separated in space and time, the kind of things that, you don't have to be doing something necessarily physically or actively in the world. You can influence things just by being in these spaces and holding these spaces.
Yes.
That influences things, and so that's where I'm at more than have actually sort of doing
It's
things.
so interesting you say that because I just got that. Why, excuse me, pardon me. I arrived in Sedona uh almost 3 weeks ago now. I've been here just 1 day shy of 3 weeks. And the reason I'm here is not just because I chose to come back. I was asked to come back. And I am learning that it's because they needed my physicality here because of what I give off.
Mm,
And I think, excuse me again. And I think that having learned that is one of the coolest things that just, and I knew this, you know how you know things,
yeah,
it's back there in the back of your mind, you know things.
yeah, yeah,
But then when you see it put in your face and the mirror is held up of like, this is what you're doing here, this is why you're here, and this is it. That is, and to know differently and to have that tangible, again,
mm,
human construct, the tangibility
mm,
of that is literally why you're here.
mm,
Because your presence here gives the healing that this human needs.
mm. That's right.
Do you know how grateful I am for that?
I know exactly how great.
Oh my goodness, the deepest level of gratitude. I don't have the words to explain that depth of gratitude that I have to be that person. And with that comes the whole, like we were talking about, other levels of unlockingness of surrendering and the let go because of that depth of gratitude that I never knew I could have before.
Gratitude is is something that just arises, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a kind of a realization of, well, again, these mysterious forces at work.
And learning how to do life. Like,
Yeah,
holy moly, like the level of gratitude that you can have that brings an appreciation for the learns of how to do life.
yeah.
Yeah. Brian, I'm going to ask you if you would be willing to do us a solid and do a beautiful meditation on the way out, and then final thoughts before you do that, and then we'll just say goodbye.
Okay, let's just again open the heart, make that heart to heart connection. Remember that grounding cord, which you can imagine a line of light moving from the sacral chakra if you're female and the root chakra if you're male, and allowing that line of light to connect deeply into the earth, opening the heart and just being present. Good. Following on these shifts, let's connect with the energies and the spirit of nature and the earth. The earth responds. Feel the sense of the earth as a conscious and wise and intelligent being, ageless. Good. Allow your aura to expand. Allow that grounding cord to reach the very center of the earth where there's a beautiful crystal of light, and connecting into that crystal at the center of the earth, and feeling those energies of the earth rising up through that grounding cord into the root and sacral chakras and moving into the physical body. So you're being nurtured energetically now, supported and nurtured by the beautiful energies of the earth. Expanding again and going with these shifts now. Now there are various groups of beings available to connect to. There are the Council of 12, the Essenes. There's even a group, a physical group on the earth plane comprising of some of our members. There's also a gridwork of light around the earth that you can connect to. So opening now, feeling beautifully supported, almost as if your energy is becoming transparent, so that you're becoming more transparent to these energies, the light, the love, the compassion, becoming more transparent to these energies, so that they flow naturally through the very essence of your being. As you become more transparent, so these energies of love, beauty, truth, light, wisdom, harmony and peace can flow through every level and every fibre of your being. Remaining present there then, remaining in these spaces in which you are always present, and then returning into an outer directed reality. So that Ronnie can sign us off now in our own time.
And take one more deep inhale and exhale, letting it all go and just giving. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. It has been such an honor. Brian, goodness gracious, I love you, friend.
I love you too.
My gosh, I
Always
didn't
with you,
even I needed this.
always with you on the inner planes.
Yeah, I didn't even know I needed this. I just thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone out there, thank you so much for being here again with us.
Thank you.
I hope this has brought a little bit of awareness and a little bit of just learning how to be and all those things that Brian and I talked about. Just feel, just
Amen.
be. Thank you. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful rest of your day, guys. Thank you.
And you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.